Hi everyone, welcome back to Chop's Garage. The Talking Hand is back. This is the real life car trading channel. If this is the first time you're joining us, this is all about what it's really like to trade cars. We've got a lot going on today. We've pulled the Panda out and given that a clean off because we're going to take that home. And that is going to be what Brooke, my daughter, is going to learn to drive in. We've got the Firebird out. We've been having a fiddle with that. I think we're going to be doing some videos on that elsewhere. A lot of sales have happened. You see there's been some movement around the showroom and some of these cars have actually sold and they're due to go out any second. As per the title of the video, we have some big news that could dramatically affect the way we do business. Now, those of you who follow Chop's Garage for a long while will know I started out by sourcing all of my stock through car auctions, and we get a mixed bag through car auctions. It was quite hard buying through car auctions, and preparing them to level we wanted to prepare them to and still make a profit on them. And the market got tighter after we started because we had COVID and the prices went up again. Everyone was fighting for stock over COVID. But then I had a stroke of luck, didn't I? Someone from back in my corporate days that I used to work with became the sales manager of the local main dealer for a couple of brands, and I got the opportunity to start buying stock from the main dealer part exchange yard just down the road. I got an opportunity to test drive all the cars, have a good look over them and make sure they were going to be decent, and buy them without the auction fees and so forth that I'd have incurred normally, and obviously fighting other people for that stock. Well, some big news on that front. Unfortunately for me, but great for him because he's a great guy, and he's really switched on, and I can totally understand why he's doing it. He's moving on and he's setting up his own car business, so he's going to be doing his own sales. Now that means that a new manager is going to be put in charge of the that car dealership, and it's down to the managers who they want to sell to. The problem being, one, we don't know which way he's going to go with that. Has he got friends already that might want to buy trade vehicles? The other thing is, my friend that was selling to me is obviously setting up his own car dealership and is hoping to be able to buy the part exchanges himself. And obviously he has a direct relationship with the people he worked with already. So that could really affect the amount of stock I'm getting. It could really impact how many cars I get. Now I know I've been quite overstocked recently and probably could got away with slightly less cars, but it could dry up completely, and that could dramatically, like say, impact things because we have to go back to buying from auctions, sight unseen pretty much, and yeah, really get a real mixed bag of cars, not of this kind of quality we really want. It's early days. I really don't know how this is going to go yet, guys, so just hopefully if you can all of you long-term choppers out there, keep your fingers crossed for me that I still manage to keep getting cars from there. So I've got a gentleman come by to have a look at our little blue Suzuki Splash, and he's got a little white Suzuki Splash that he wants to part exchange in. Has them as company cars, says he finds them ultra reliable, but as soon as they hit about 60,000-70,000 miles, he sells them off and gets himself newer, lower mileage ones. And as we were discussing, for him it's a kind of like corporate responsibility thing. Once the cars started getting older, if there was a problem with it, he could potentially be on the hook for any accident, whatever his staff had, even if he's getting them regularly maintained. So he likes to try and keep the mileage lower. First thing we want to do, obviously, regarding the car is make sure that the history is okay. We don't want to get caught out with some finance that's outstanding on it, or if it was previously category damage. So of course we're going to use our good old friend Car Vertical. If we open up Car Vertical on my phone, we can check the reg. So HV62XTS. Let's let Car Vertical go off and do its thing. So, okay for theft because it's got a green tick there. Okay for mileage, okay for finance, and okay for damage. Green ticks across the board. So this has got a completely clear history. Last known mileage, 64,156. That ties in what we're seeing at the moment. Nice gradual line there, no big peaks and troughs. All looking like it should. Now the reason we do these checks is because we know that often isn't the case. Check out this report. Had no theft, no mileage, or no financial issues, but did have a damage flag on it. If we look here, it's got pictures from the salvage auction when this vehicle was sold. You see it suffered a very heavy impact. If we scroll further down, we'll find that although this was a low mileage vehicle, it actually been category S registered, which means it was structurally damaged. So if this car was presented to you all repaired, unless you did your Car Vertical, you might never know. If you want to avoid a big financial mistake by buying a car with a sketchy history, then you want to get your own car vertical. Perhaps you're looking to buy a car, perhaps you bought one and never checked it before, perhaps a friend's going to look at a car. You'll find a link in the video description down below. And if you use the code CHOPSGarage, you'll get yourself a nice discount at the same time. I want to thank Car Vertical for being a continued sponsor of Chops Garage. So background history on the car is all good to go. I have a look at the service history already on it, and that service history is 100% up to date. And like I said, I think we've got 70-odd thousand miles on it. This will be good because the retail value of this car, I think, is around about the 3,233 mark. And that's good because the one I sold him was obviously nearly £6,000 because it only had 20-odd thousand miles on it. So to have a more affordable one of the same car, and it'll work quite well for me. I'm going to do a little test drive on it, make sure it's okay on that front, and then we'll work out the price for him and see if we can't do a deal. So deal is done. Little splash is mine. Like I say, retail, this will go up at like 3,295. This is going to go up for. I've just got to get the heat gun out and get all of this off. Now comment down below. I'm thinking I quite like the green bit, the orange bit on the roof and the orange bit on the wing mirrors. Obviously I don't want a sign writing on it, but I think once I might take the sign writing off, I might leave the roof and the wing mirrors and leave it to the buyer to decide if they want that to come off, because that's just vinyl wrap. It can come straight off. It's not painted on. Nice little bonus on this one as well. He only had a clutch fitted about 6 months ago, I think. So he had a clutch fitted on it. So that's, with these being chain driven, and there's no chain rattle at all on it from cold. So with the full service history, the fresh clutch in it, should be a nice little bit of retail stock for me. See, with the news that I've had recently about my contact at the main dealers leaving, self-sourcing more stock is going to be a key thing. I'm going to have to start encouraging more part exchange, I think. And obviously letting all you guys know that obviously I'm open to buying your vehicles if you're looking to sell as well. We're going to have to work a little bit harder to get stock, I think. Right, ladies, just to come to see my Suzuki Splash, I've let her out for a little test drive in it. She's asked me, would I take this in part exchange? A 2004 Honda Jazz. Now, normally you'd say no, too old, that kind of thing, and I would hesitate still to retail one on a 2004, but they are super popular and they're reliable little cars, and there's always someone looking for a cheap Honda Jazz. Got some scuffing on the corner there. Headlights need a good polish. We've got a dented bonnet. A little scuff there. I mean, it is 2004, so we're not going to go crazy knocking it back for paintwork damage. Yeah, we've got a few more light scuffs down the bottom there, nothing outrageous. Nothing you'd actually fix, because this is the kind of car you just clean up. Yeah, more scuffs on that wheel arch there. You just clean up and sell it as it is with a nice fresh ticket on it. So seat bases could do with a clean to make it look its best. But again, let's not go crazy. They're really just, I know why people love them, because the seating on it, you've just got so much flexibility to load stuff up in these. Yeah, it's all perfectly acceptable inside. So mileage is 148,930. So again, for the age, it's fair enough, isn't it? Starts up okay. Clutch is going to be our thing. It's above half, but not by a huge amount. Certainly doesn't feel, I mean, it's got to have had a clutch at 148,000 miles at some point, one would have thought, wouldn't you? Don't hit the postie. Yeah, it goes through the gears all right. So we'll just pop the bonnet and check that we haven't got any mayo on the go, anything like that. Ooh. I know it won't be reading exactly right because it's only just settled, but there's nothing on the dipstick. Oh my word. She's driving this on very low oil. Hellfire. Surprised she hasn't got a warning light on the dashboard for that. I think we might put some in for her before she goes. So that of course could be a sign of it burning oil. I didn't see any in the boot when I looked. So that could be a reason they're getting rid of it, it's burning oil. So we've got to be careful how much we offer. This is why, guys, you get low offers, because unfortunately people don't tend to get rid of cars until they're having problems, do they? Right, guys, the MOT list reads like a horror story. It's through till February, but February 2024, but front subframe corroded, front cross member corroded, tyres, inner seal corroded, near side seal corroded, fuel pipe corroded, axle corroded, corroded around the spring mount, shock absorbers, everything. So that is bad news. What it basically means is that this car should be considered a parts car, because it might not get through the next MOT. If it does, it's going to cost a lot of money. I did check We Buy Any Car. We Buy Any Car says the car's worth £450 or something like that, which doesn't surprise me because Jazz is worth good money, but obviously they haven't seen all this. I think realistically it's probably 150 quid's sort of scrapper, to be fair, but I've got quite good margin in the car because I put it up higher than I thought I would, and I'm soft, so I'll probably end up offering a 250 quid for it. I think 250 quid, my scrap man might bid me down to 150, 200 for the car, so I should be able to break even on that. I mean, it could be that it'll pass again with all these advisories, or it could be some of these have got considerably worse and they'll need sorting out. It could be you could get underneath the car, wire brush all this stuff off and coat it with some stone chip or whatever, and get it for another ticket. But yeah, I don't know. Shame, isn't it? Because it seems to drive all right. The deal has been done. I managed to sell the Splash even though I'd driven it home and back, and she turned up just as I got in and I hadn't had a chance to jet wash it yet. Good news is she'd like to keep the roof and the wing mirrors on it, so I don't have to take those off. I've got to do a massive shout out to Craig at Custom Valets, who came here yesterday to valet 2 cars. He was leaving at 5 o'clock. He said, "What have you got on?" I said, "Well, before I leave today, I've got to get all the lettering off this car because someone wants to come and see it in the morning." He went, "Oh, I've got 10 minutes, I'll give you a hand," and got some plastic razor blades out, and with that and some glue and tar remover, we got all the lettering off and done, and I'd have been here all night doing that, so massive shout out to thank for him for that. So we managed to get the car in as a part exchange against the other Splash. We immediately advertised it, and within 24 hours we've sold it by just taking the lettering off. It's still obviously got to go down and get its MOT, might need a service as well. We don't know what the MOT on this might throw up, but yeah, the deal has been done and it's already sold. And this once again shows that that lady was a recommendation, by the way. I forgot to say that she was another recommendation from somebody local to come and see me. She'd been watching my website. As soon as I put up a stock image of a white Swift and I put it up for 3,295, she was immediately on it. And this just shows you that magic sort of 3,495 and below price point stuff sells so quickly. She said, "I've been looking, but all your other ones are coming in around the 5k mark." That's just a absolute, in this North Devon area where incomes aren't particularly high and people have seasonal jobs and their runarounds need to be cheap runabouts, that kind of price point is absolutely ideal. Luckily, we don't need to do any paint on it either, so the key thing here is how quickly can the Moores boys get it through an MOT, and then we can get it out the way. And I'll get hold of my guy that takes all my scrap cars, and see what he'll give me on that Jazz. It's another point, that lady did admit to me that she'd been told already that car probably wouldn't get through its next MOT, so she wasn't being dishonest in any way. So I'm not saying that, but it just shows you how cautious you have to be and how you have to do these checks. I'd have not checked the MOT and just gone on a valuation system just to find out what the car was worth, and my visual inspection, I could have offered her, you know, I probably would have offered her £400 or £500 on the idea that I could probably get it for a ticket and put it up for 1,500 quid or something, all washed and tied up, because Jazzes do go for good money. If I hadn't checked that MOT, I'd have been stuffed, wouldn't I? Absolutely stuffed. As we said, people get rid of cars, people part exchange cars when they know there's going to be a problem with them. They don't get rid of good cars. So that is why there's no point beating up dealers when they give you low prices, because their experience in 99% of the occasions are that someone's trying to offload trouble on them. So that's why the offers are low. So hopefully you enjoyed that. That was a bit of a sort of live, well, it's not live because I've recorded it for you, but a bit of real life trading going on there, showing you exactly how it works. The Jaguar, again, massive thanks to everyone for the support on the Jaguar raffle. So if somehow you've missed it, we are raffling off this gorgeous 2005 Jaguar XJ 3-litre V6 that's just had a fresh service, a brand new advisory free MOT, and is flipping blooming lovely to drive. The interior, the cream interior on this thing is absolutely mint. I haven't got the keys to show you, but yes, we are raffling this off with a proportion of the proceeds going to Sophie's Legacy, and that is the cancer that supports families that have children in hospital with cancer, in memory of Sophie, who unfortunately died. I think it was only 10 years old, bless her. So yeah, thanks for the support on that. It's still going to the end of the month. There will be a link in the video description down below. If you're watching on your telly, you're going to need to find the video description to find your link through to entering the raffle. So yeah, massive thanks for the support. It's looking like it's going really well, and I know Kitch over at the Up and Down channel managed to raise, what was it he raised, 12 grand when he did his 25-hour live. He's going to be so chuffed when I tell him what we're going to be able to add on top of that. As always, massive thanks for watching. Really appreciate all the support, and I shall see you on the next one.